I'm Doug Withrow, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I am CSAT trained, so a certified sex addiction therapist. I also have a Master's of Divinity degree, and I was a pastor for a number of years. And then my life, I had a lot of challenges going on, some choices that I made that were difficult and hard, and started realizing that I had this first love of therapy, which is what my undergrad was actually in. I was drawn back to that for my own therapeutic work, and that brought me to PCS eventually. Part of being human is being wounded. That's not all of it, but it's part of it. And it's okay to say, hey, I can ask for help. We think somehow we are supposed to figure it out alone. And it doesn't have to be that way. The difference between healthy family and unhealthy family is healthy families recognize that they're jacked up and work on it, and unhealthy families don't want to admit that they're struggling, and they just keep pushing through, and that's true for us individually too. I'd like to have my future clients know, first, that they're not alone and healing can happen. A lot of us think it can't, and so that's the first thing. The other thing I want them to know is I've been through it, and that's how I do therapy. Is a lot of what I share comes from personal experience and personal growth. I'm going to be very caring, I want to be very supportive, and I also want to be challenging and call you out and say, hey, you're not seeing this, because every one of us has blind spots. I know I have blind spots, and I need people in my life who are helping me identify those. And if they're willing to look at that stuff, then they can get through whatever life is thrown at them. The healing process begins with just owning our story. Hey, this is what my story is. In kind of a raw way. This is how I've been hurt. This is how I've hurt other people. This is what it was like for me growing up. And let's just talk about it and put it on the table, because then when we put it on the table, then we can start the healing, and we can do experiential work, we can do imagery, we can do mindfulness activities, because now we're dealing with reality, and I start learning, what am I feeling, what am I thinking, what do I want, what do I need, how does that line up with my values? And that kind of stuff helps us become a better human being, and that's really the journey, is we're all just growing and trying to get better at who we are and kind of making a difference in relationships. That first session is the hardest session. If you make the call, then you can at least say, okay, I went in once. My experience is, if you go in once, you start going, oh man, there's a little bit something I can learn here. I'm going to go in again. But that first call, scheduling the appointment, just make the call. Then once you get in, two things. Once you get in, put everything on the table, talk about everything, trust the confidentiality, and just have a part of you open up to feedback. So I'm going to share my story. This is it. This is the messiness of my life. And what do you think? And then if people really are talking about the stuff that's hard to talk about, and then they're open up for feedback, there's a lot of potential for growth.